report the Detroit Pistons are in discussions to acquire Dejounte Murray, and I will save the other one for the one involving Zach LaVine. I'll say that for another video. How about that? It'll come back to back. So apparently they're in discussions to acquire Dejounte Murray. And the thing about it is, it sounds like the Hawks want Jaden Ivey in a short Thompson. Now, this is not saying that the Pistons would do it. All right? This is not saying that the Pistons would or wouldn't do it. But you gotta remember, and I always said this, they hired Monty Williams after the draft process. Now he got, he pretty much he came in at the tail end of the drafting process. So think about that for a minute. He came in at the tail end of the drafting process. All right. So you got to remember, none of these guys on this team is his guys. Right? And there was a report that came out that the Pistons' young core were not going to be traded. And the names that came out in that report, and all this comes, I think, from James Edward III. All this comes from him. And it said Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey exclusively. They mentioned those two guys. So this could be an Atlanta reporter saying, well, I'm hearing that the Atlanta Hawks are trying to land Ausar Thompson and Jaden Ivey. And the Pistons could be saying, oh, no, we not moving them. All right, I had to get out and do a little detour. But like I said before, they said in the previous report that Ausar and Jaden Ivey wasn't touchable. So it could be something that one of the Atlanta reporters putting out here. It could be something that Atlanta's putting out here, Atlanta putting out there, or whatever. So, but it would make sense. But it would make sense that they would go out there and, you go get a guard like Dejounte Murray. You got to pay him, right? So why do you, if you see Ausar Thompson as a three, you see Jaden Ivey as a combo guard, maybe they should move on from him. So, at the end of the day, I don't think Dejounte Murray is the answer per se, but they gonna do what they feel. And they feel like, he's a good defender, he's an improving shooter, he can facilitate, and that's the way they want to go. But after being reported saying they're not giving up their young core, then you trade two of your pieces to your young core. You ain't trading them for like Anthony Edwards or a Shea Gilgeous superstar type of player. Dejounte Murray, he ain't even a fringe all-star. He ain't never been an all-star. Still fairly young though, but he ain't never been no all-star. So that's something to chew on for a minute. And if they were to pull the move, so be it. And you just ask, like, where were Jaden Ivey and Ausar Thompson fit in for Atlanta? Atlanta got a bunch of guys. Like, they got a guy like, what's the kid's name? DeAndre Hunter. They got a guy like DeAndre Hunter who can defend. You know what I'm saying? Like, where does Jaden Ivey fit next to Trae Young? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that dynamic work? So, is this a deal which, eventually they just gonna dump? They gonna dump, Ausar Thompson and Ivey in the future, or they, for Atlanta, I don't know. To be honest, I really don't know. But after the report came out saying the Pistons are not gonna trade their young core, what sense do this really make for the Detroit Pistons? And that's what you got to ask yourself. I mean, for the Atlanta Hawks. So, what sense do that really make for them? I mean, that's for them to answer and, for us to continue to find out. But, other than that, I don't really see, Dejounte Murray, does that really change the dynamic? I don't know. I don't know if that makes you that much better. So, not a knockdown shooter. He's a solid shooter, good defender, long guy. But I just don't really understand the train of thought. So, but that's up to them to figure out. It's up to them to kind of see where they want to go with that part of things. But in my humble opinion, I don't know. I think you need more knockdown shooters, man. But he's a solid at 35% last time I looked. So, if that's what they're going to roll with, so be it. But in my opinion, I think the smart thing to do for them, they trying to move the needle. They trying to get better. People's feet to the fire. Probably ticket sales are dropping. They doing stuff out of panic. And when you start doing things out of emotion, then there lies the problem. When you start making moves out of emotion, then you start getting in trouble. So don't forget that. When you start doing stuff out of anger, or you start doing things when you feel really, really good, you feel on the high about a person or about a situation, that's when people tend to get in trouble. Everybody think when you act out of anger, when you act out of any emotion, if you're too happy when you make a decision, if you're too angry when you make a decision, if you too, whatever the serious when you make a decision, if you, too, whatever the emotion, the feeling is, never make an emotion when you're on an emotional high or an emotional low. Never make a decision on that. And right now they in a panic, they in a worry, they in a, they panicking because they job on the line. And when you start pulling triggers, when you do that, all you do is dig the franchise and dig yourself in a deeper and deeper hole. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Peace.